it's on the same lines as friendship. I've watched Julia grow in Best Buddies for the last several years, but more importantly in the last couple of years, where she's been a buddy ambassador. And I think that she feels really, really safe at Best Buddies. I have really noticed a very maturing growth in Julia. I've seen her tackle issues that I know she would never have tackled a year ago. For example, Best Buddies called and asked if she would be able to speak at a restaurant that was opening up last week or a couple weeks ago. And I said, well, I don't know, let me ask her. And it was sort of, last minute, short notice. And she said, sure. So we, got her speech that she wrote during her training at Best Buddies last year, and we drove to the restaurant. Yeah, no, but that wasn't for this. That wasn't for the restaurant. And so we drove to the restaurant, and it was really kind of a, tight quarters where I had to like drop her off, and then she just had to go in by herself, and I had to kind of turn around and leave. So I said, now, Julie, you're not going to know anybody. It's going to be all brand new, and good luck. See you later. And I drove away going, oh my gosh, I would never have done this a year ago, and neither would she. So when she got inside the restaurant, she met the gal that was in charge of the fundraiser for Best Buddies, and she met her, and she said, okay, I'll just, kind of hang out at the bar, having a glass of water, until it was her time to talk. But it was amazing because she felt comfortable to do this in a room full of Tim Bolin. And then Tim came, Tim Bolin. But it was a room full of complete strangers, and she would never have done that a year ago. And then comes the gala. Who went to the gala? Oh my gosh. Okay, so Julie and I went a couple years ago, and we went together. She and her dad and I, and that's when she met Matt Leinert. Who met Matt Leinert? Who's been bowling with Matt Leinert? Yeah, yeah. You just meet the most wonderful people. That was the first year we went to the gala. Then the second year we went to the gala, she just still didn't work as the ambassador. We went as guests of Blue Cross. So we kind of went together. But this year, she was asked to be an ambassador. Like, I'm sure some of you have gone to work at the event and do what you're supposed to do as an ambassador. So I said, okay, she's going to go by herself. And she went with girls, and she met at the Best Buddies office, and she went there for hair and makeup. And then 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm like, oh my God, the event goes till 11. How long is she going to last? So, and I drop her off, and I'm like, okay, have a great time. Call me. And again, it wouldn't have happened if she didn't feel safe. And I know that I wouldn't have dropped her off if I didn't feel safe. So she calls me at 8:15, and I went, okay, 8:15, I guess she's done. And she's like, Ma, guess who's here? And I'm like, oh my God, did Matt Leinert show up? Because she just loves Matt Leinert. And she's like, no. All right, let me guess. Kurt Warner? Yes. Well, who met Kurt Warner? Oh my gosh, is he like the best guy in the world? I'm like, was there a raffle ticket? Well, that was your job.
Have you seen the suit he wears?
Is he the best guy? Was it like all orange or something?
Yes.
All orange.
Big orange suit for, I guess, what holiday would that be?
Halloween?
Halloween.
I
Kind
guess.
of looked like the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, I bet it did. I bet. So there was Julia calling me at 8:15 saying, she was still there and she was talking to Matt Leinert and she was going to go ask him for a raffle ticket. I mean, Kurt Warner. Sorry.
I tell you one thing, Kurt Warner, he would be someone I would love to have on my talk show one day.
You know what, Greg, everyone is going to be a guest in your talk show. I am totally convinced of it.
And even Ruben Studdard as a musical guest.
There you go. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that through Best Buddies, I have felt very comfortable and welcomed to be a part of you, and I know Julia's felt comfortable to be a part of you, and she just meets the greatest people. She has the best friends now. She gets to meet new friends every year. But like Tim said, like Sammy said, she gets to keep the friends that she's met last year. And, I know that for the Best Buddies that are here in the room, the phone doesn't ring when you graduate from high school. It was really kind of tough on me, more so than it was on Julia, because it was kind of a time that you really kind of felt alone. And then you get to be a part of Best Buddies and Ambassador, and that feeling of aloneness really goes away. And I'm just really happy that I get to be a part of it, and that Julia does.
I've been in, I started about school, and about 7 years ago, I started Best Buddies in 2004, and I never knew what it was, so I went in, and here I am 7 years later.
And what do you think?
Amazing. I mean, I've been through her situation time and time again, every single day.
Yeah.
And puts a hole in my heart knowing what you went through. I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
And to have somebody you could call a best friend or best buddy.
Mm-hmm. It's special, isn't it?
It's very special.
It's very special.
And I think I can harmonize with both you and Julia about the hole in your heart that it has, and the feeling of being alone and not fitting in, because I can ID with that problem.
Mm-hmm.
But since I joined this beautiful organization,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling kind of blew away like a wind in Chicago, quicker than you can say a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Greg, I couldn't have said it better. I mean, it's really true. I mean, I don't have that feeling anymore. I feel as though we really have a group of friends.
Sounded like a game show, didn't it?
A winning game show at that. But I really feel as though we really have a group of friends that we're going to have for a really long time, and that just makes, I know, the both of us feel really pretty special. Huh? Yeah. Are there any questions? Yes, Rick?
Yeah,